Very good morning, India. Welcome to News This Week on Spirits TV. I am Shalini Kumar with the latest updates from the world of alcoholic beverages and hospitality. Let's have a look at what is happening in the alcobev sector in India and abroad. Here are some latest policy related developments and other related stories from across the country. The Supreme Court has refused to interfere in wholesale license rules of Delhi's new excise policy. A private liquor wholesaler had filed a plea before the Apex Court seeking a stay on the license rule L1 of the new excise policy. During the hearing, the Supreme Court said that when the Delhi High Court is hearing the case, we will not interfere at the moment. The petitioner has sought a stay on the rule that L1 license will be granted only to institutions with 5 years of wholesale distribution experience in one state in India and whose annual turnover is 250 crore rupees per year in the last 3 years. The petitioner has approached the Delhi High Court and the case is listed for hearing on 18th November, while the new rules will come into effect from November 17th. As per the decision of the Telangana government, 15% of the total liquor shops will be reserved for the God community, 10% for scheduled caste and 5% for scheduled tribes under the recently notified Telangana State Excise Policy for 1st December 2021 to 30th November 2023. Also, the tender application fee for liquor shops has been fixed at 2 lakh rupees while the excise fee has been kept on the old slab. The new liquor policy makes CCTV cameras mandatory at each shop. Total 2,216 liquor shops are currently licensed in the state. Recently, the World Trade Organization has agreed to establish a dispute settlement panel to address Australia's complaint over China's imposition of anti-dumping duties on imports of wine from Australia, after a first request was blocked by China in September this year. In a recently concluded meeting, the WTO's dispute settlement body said the new panel will investigate the dispute with 15 countries. Australian wine had been subjected to interim Chinese duties amid a tense political standoff between the countries. Beijing levied tariffs between 116.2% and 218.4% on Australian wines for 5 years. The Confederation of Indian Alcoholic Beverage Companies has written to various state governments to allow companies to increase liquor prices. According to the Director General of CIABC Vinod Giri, unprecedented inflationary trends in raw material and services and transportation for alcoholic beverages in the past 3 to 4 months is seriously impacting commercial viability for the manufacturers. On this, CIABC has initiated communication with the various state governments including Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. United Breweries is in the process of filing an appeal before the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal against the penalty of 752 crore rupees imposed by the Competition Commission of India for cartelization. UBL is in the process of preparing the grounds of appeal and the appeal will be filed within the time frame of 2 months from the date of the order. The company believes that it has a strong case on merits for successful appeal on this matter. India's competition watchdog found top beer companies UBL, Carlsberg India and Anheuser-Busch InBev India to have indulged in price fixing for over a decade and fined UBL and Carlsberg over 870 crore rupees to be paid within 2 months. A high-level meeting to deliberate further on the liquor ban has been called by the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. This comes after about 20 people died over the past few days by consuming spurious liquor. Earlier, the CM had warned of strict action against those involved in sale and consumption of liquor in the dry state after the celebrations for Chhath Puja are over. Liquor has been prohibited in Bihar since 2016. Now, let's look at the new launches and interesting stories from across the world. Islay Distillery Bowmore has released a 21-year-old single malt whiskey in partnership with Aston Martin. Bowmore Masters Selection was a collaboration between Bowmore Master Whiskey Blender Ron Welsh and Aston Martin Executive Vice President and Chief Creative Officer Marek Rickman. The 51.8% ABV Scotch whiskey includes the 21-year-old component, accounts for 61.8% of the final liquid. The remaining portion includes Bowmore whiskey that was matured for more than 35 years. Bowmore Masters Selection is available in global markets for $300 per bottle. Spanish drinks group Bevelen Distillers has released 2 new gift packs for Jodhpur Gin, featuring an exclusive branded glass. Bevelen has unveiled a Jodhpur Gin pack including a 700 ml bottle of the gin and an exclusive glass. The other gift pack contains Jodhpur Spicy 700 ml bottle, an exclusive glass and a bottle of Big Tom Spice tomato juice. The pack contains all the ingredients needed to make a Red Snapper cocktail, a gin-based Bloody Mary. The gift packs are priced between $25 to $30. The Israel's Milk and Honey Distillery has developed a whiskey that aims to showcase the influence of the Dead Sea. Milk and Honey is Israel's first whiskey distillery. It has made the new expression called M&H Apex Dead Sea as part of its research and development program. In October 2018, the distillery began its Dead Sea experiment by placing 20 ex-bourbon, ex-red wine and ex-STR casks on a hotel rooftop in the Dead Sea zone at about 423 meters below sea level. The barrels matured there for a year and were then returned to the distillery's warehouse in Tel Aviv until the liquid was bottled in July 2021. Apex Dead Sea is available in select markets in the world, and the first run of the whiskey is limited to 4,892 bottles. Buffalo Trace Distillery has released a French oak bourbon as part of its Old Charter Oak brand. It is named Old Charter Oak French Oak. For the latest release, Buffalo Trace has revisited its successful French Oak series. The new release will be available from late November. This is the third release of Old Charter Oak French Oak and the sixth release overall for the Old Charter Oak brand. Past releases include Mongolian Oak, Canadian Oak and Chinkapin Oak. The suggested retail pricing for the newly introduced whiskey is $69.99. Sula Vineyards has relaunched Rasa, one of its offerings in the premium segment for customers. Rasa label has been in existence since 2007 and 8. These series Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah and Zinfandel are all modernistic, with Rasa Cabernet and Zinfandel being in the Bordeaux style bottle and Syrah in the wider Burgundy bottle design. The wines are aged for 12 months in French oak barrels and further matured in a bottle before release. Sula Vineyards recently rebranded their Karnataka winery as Domaine Sula to differentiate it from the flagship winery in Nashik. Extra trains are being laid on to bring in Christmas booze from the continent due to the shortage of lorry drivers in the UK. Network Rail has ensured extra capacity for imported wine usually delivered by HGV drivers to supermarkets. The UK has a shortage of 1 lakh lorry drivers, so the weekly wine trains will deliver 4.5 million imported bottles to supermarkets before December 25th. The first freight train carrying 6,43,000 bottles reached the port of Tilbury on the Thames a few days back. There have also been numerous reports of customers engaging in Christmas panic buying, doubtless in the wake of the stories circulating about potential product shortages around the festive season. Pernod Ricard Global Travel Retail has opened the first boutique with Shenzhen duty free in Haikou, China. Following the opening of the first Martell boutique in Hainan earlier this year, Pernod Ricard is further expanding its presence in China. The opening in Shenzhen represents Pernod Ricard's first boutique in travel retail and focuses on retail theatre powered by digital. Alongside the full Martell range, the boutique's offering includes Ballantine's, Chivas Regal and Royal Salute Scotch whiskies, as well as whiskies from the Glenlivet and Secret Speyside ranges. Travelers can also purchase rare whiskies including the exceptional Royal Salute 52-year-old and the Glenlivet 50-year-old and choose from the full Cape Donic range introduced to China's duty-free market for the very first time. We always love to talk about the efforts helping the environment. The Scotch whisky industry has cut greenhouse gas emissions by more than 50% since 2008. The latest data also details that almost 40% of all energy used by producers is obtained from non-fossil fuel sources, compared to 28% in 2018. Collaboration, sharing of knowledge and expertise, and harnessing innovative technologies have been key in achieving these successes. The latest data to track progress demonstrates the hard work and significant investments Scotch whisky producers have made towards their target of achieving net zero emissions in operations by 2040. With this, I wrap up today's edition and I will come back with new updates next Friday. Till then, stay safe and say cheers with care.